easy Monday morning thing. 4 speakers. We'll clean out the car, cause shit. Well, as Fernando likes to say, happy Monday. It's Monday morning. We have our first job in. It's just a simple 4 speaker swap out. We just cleaned out the car. We're gonna just bang this thing out real quick and get on with our day. I do have a question for you guys though. This is interesting. Hold on. So our toolbox has a little refrigerator in it. So check, okay, so this bottle of water, this bottle of water, and this bottle of water were all put in here before I left on Sunday. This bottle of water is frozen solid. That bottle of water that was right here. This bottle of water that was right next to it is actually more underneath here. Frozen solid water. How does that happen? If you guys know, let me know. Alright, so next up on the to-do list is this guy here. It's a Honda CR-V. He's got a factory 6-disc CD player. Who owns CDs? Not this guy. All he wants is, because this is a late model CR-V, all he wants to do is add Bluetooth. Really, that's about it, but he wants a new radio, so he's going single DIN pocket. Let's bang this bad boy out. So if you guys have never seen a short chassis radio, that's this guy right here. Now, what I mean by short chassis is this. You know how long or how deep a normal radio is. Look how shallow this is. The reason why I can get away with that, there's no CD player built into it. This is a modern radio for a modern person. It has all the creature comforts, Bluetooth phone, Bluetooth music, auxiliary, USB, even has 4-channel preamp output. Pretty cool. Here's what you end up with. Really short, the pocket's actually deeper than the radio. Pretty cool. All right, let's get into the dash. Fernando, what are we doing now?
Wanna pray.
Why are we praying?
Checking the hood.
Checking the hood.
Have to pray.
All right, let's see what's going on underneath the hood. Oh, wow. Is that the fuse holder? I wonder where it goes. What, wow, so fuse, all right, so we're taking this stuff out, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. Look how far away that is. That's, wow. And then this is, look at that. That rim is having a bad day, and it's not alone.
Well, getting better. Come and check it out.
Oh, the seat doesn't even close?
Well, it closed, but
it touches
together. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, this guy, he bought this car. He doesn't want this stuff. He's like, dude, this ain't me. Take all this stuff out. So today, this is just a simple deinstall. No big deal. We thought it'd just be neat to show you some of this. We know you guys like this stuff. So we just started working on this Mustang, and apparently the Mustang gods heard us because it just started doing this. So even they're sad about this Mustang. A lot of the times we'll get cars in like this, we just see things that are wrong, and we're like, all right, so what we'll do is we'll tell the customer, hey, these are all the things we found that are wrong. We'll give them an estimate on how much it would cost if they wanted us to fix it, and we leave it up to them to decide. Sure, we want to make everything perfect, but at the end of the day, it's up to the customer to decide whether or not they want to pay us to do it. So, moving on. I do have one cool thing though. Do you ever want to know if your cap is blown? I don't know if you guys can hear this. Listen to this. I hope you could hear that. It's cool. It's like one of those little toys where you hear the stuff trickling down. This cap's definitely dead. So the guy that had the CRV that we just did, he works for a company here in Florida called Chick-fil-A. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Chick-fil-A, it's awesome chicken sandwiches. Oh, but he brought us a present. These are called chicken minis. And basically, it's this buttery goodness biscuit with a little piece of chicken nugget inside. Oh yeah, so good. Oh.
So what are we doing in here?
That is a wonderful question. I'm glad you asked, so I don't have to ask you. All right, so what we got going on this is this radio right here with a 4-gauge kit to power that radio. Just kidding. So what we got is this audio bond for all you classic car audio guys. Look, you can see the camera in it. It's so shiny. All right, so we're putting in that big amp and a new radio.
Well, the 2 amps in the back and the 3 subwoofers.
So he's got a whole flea market happening in the back seat. And so we got a box there. Oh, we got a double box there. Holy Jesus, dude. Look at the size of that thing. What is it? Wolfenhagen. It's a Wolfenhagen. No, we're not going to put any of this stuff in. We're just putting in this box with that amp and a new radio. Does that sound like fun?
Sure. Yeah.
You're such a prima donna. All right, let's get to it. So we got the amplifier in and mounted up underneath the seat. Made a T-bracket as usual, bolts into the front here, bolts into the front up there, amplifier secure. We also have the radio in the dash. That's the Best Kits dash kit, comes silver just like that, all mounted up. So there you go, there again, simple T, comes off, bolts in. This is a bolt on top of the factory bolt. So all good up there, all secured. All right, what are we doing?
Right now, we're just sitting in here.
All right, so what we have is a Challenger. We're putting a new radio in it. We previously installed an amplifier in the trunk, so we're gonna run an RCA and a remote turn on to it because he's using a high level to low level. Is that good?
That's awesome.
All right, let's get to it.
I like it.
Anytime you're taking off a dash, there's always a magic spot. All right, so all we have left to do is put the panel back on. Okay, now we'll take one last listen and blend in the subwoofer and we'll be all set. All right, this one's all done. Yay. Hey guys, it's Tuesday and we got this shiny red Porsche in the install bay. The downside is you're really not going to see much of it because we filmed it as an install video. That's a new series we're doing that you guys really like. So, Fernando, what did you think of it?
I think it's awesome.
It's awesome?
A new Porsche.
Well, we'll give you a tease. Let's go inside, we'll take a look at the radio so you can at least get an idea of what we did. We're not gonna show you how we did it and all that cool stuff. You'll have to wait till that video comes out at some point. So there we go, there's the finished product. We have a nice pac-audio dash kit, a nice Kenwood Exelon radio. This one also got Sirius XM by customer's request. We went ahead and mounted the antenna right there. Now, tip of the day, if you're gonna put an antenna on the car, put some form of, let me see if I can get this off, put some form of clear vinyl underneath it. That way you don't scratch the paint. Because those antennas always scratch the paint and it sucks. And this is a shiny red car. Nothing look worse than a bunch of messed up paint underneath there. Sorry you guys missed it, but look forward to the video coming out. Fernando.
And to the next one.
What are we doing to the Dodge Ram?
That's funny because...
That's funny?
Yeah.
Why is it funny?
Because we just did one of these.
Yes, we did do one of these.
Yeah, EcoMaster.
Handle cam. That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, and the famous interface that, what do you have to do with the interface? You have to plug it in, roll up the windows, shut the doors, arm the car, let it set for 10 minutes, then go back in and it'll work.
So
Found that
simple.
one out the hard way, right? Yeah. All right. Well, hell, let's get started. All right, so we got the Dodge Ram done. Now, anytime you're gonna test this, after you've waited the 10 minutes, start it, turn it off, start it again. So you really have to start it twice, then it'll work. If you just start it, put it in reverse, it may not work. Turn it off, start it back up.
Don't panic.
Yeah, don't panic. Like me, I panicked. Anyways, you gotta start it up to actually get it in reverse, because you just can't, it's got that cool little joystick controller. So let's take a look. All right, there we go. And no, these lines do not move. They're just parking assist lines. All right, let's go in the back and take a look at the actual handle, in case you guys haven't seen one before. This is the handle here. It's got a nice little lip around it, looks good. Factory lock goes back in place. It's real nice and, you know, looks very factory-esque. So make sure you put your disconnect in some easy to get at spot, either in here or here, so that if you ever need to take this guy off, it's easy to do. Okay, so we have another big truck in the install bay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put two kicker CVTs underneath the seat. That's gonna go there. They're getting powered off of this guy right here, or another Rockford 500.1. So we're gonna make a mount for it, get it into the truck, and we'll show you guys what it looks like. Let's go. All right, so we have the amplifier mounted in place. Normally what we do is we'd put the jack back in here and this would kind of hold everything in place, but he didn't have it, so we went ahead and slid a piece of plastic underneath the carpet and attached to that. So this is not screwed to the floor, it's actually screwed into another piece of plastic underneath it. And of course the seat will still close all the way. So we have the fuse holder in and mounted. This one's a little bit more complex. This one you actually heat up and bend around the bar and then add some screws to hold it in place. Makes a nice solid mount out of 1/4" ABS. Wire is all zip tied up. Where's the bass knob? All right, look at that. All right, so we got a nice bass knob, up, down. All right, give me some bass, man. All right, so we got a Hyundai Sonata. We're gonna swap out the radio for the customer's JVC. Let's get started. Done. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Best way to unwind after a long, stressful day I found is go for a run. Yeah. So this morning's day is going to start out with a Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
And you've already started with the USBs.
Yeah, two USBs.
We're putting a Pioneer 4200 in using the iData Maestro. We put white for iPhone, gray for Android. Let's go take a look at the car. So we have an 08. It has the factory nav, JBL system. Obviously it's time for a navigation update. They're going with the 4200 because they want to do Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. He has Android, she has Apple CarPlay, so it's a mixed house. That's why Fernando has the two cables. We're gonna put them in the pocket, but let's go over to the bench and let's talk about the iData Maestro for a couple minutes. We've done them, but obviously there's always more information to be had, so let's take a look at that. So when you buy an RR, it comes with a bunch of pieces. Obviously you get the RR, and then you'll get usually two bags. In one bag, it's gonna have the main wiring harness. It's gonna have this little black and white cable here. It'll have this plug and an aux, and then it has this guy right here with two ends that look very similar. This is the Maestro cable. This is what's gonna plug into the radio. This is the most important cable. You don't wanna lose this. This is key. If without this, this thing's useless. So this little 4-wire guy with the red, the black, the white, the blue, this is important. So if you're worried about it, when you first open the package, just go ahead and plug it into the brain so that you don't lose it. You also have the USB for flashing, and then this guy right here, this is the steering wheel control. It has an 1/8 inch, the blue, yellow, and a blue end on it. This is for steering wheel controls. This is only needed if you're doing an install that doesn't have one of these. You can take all this stuff and just put it in a bag, because you're not, more than likely, not going to need any of it, except for the aux. Let's open this up. Now inside this, you're going to find a couple different harnesses. Depending on what type of car you have. So this guy here, this is your ODB2 data thing, so this will plug into the dash and run up into the brain. This is going to be like an auxiliary harness. This is for the amplified system. This would be for the camera if it's got a factory camera. And then this is just the basic Toyota harness if it has a non-amplified system. This is, there again, another auxiliary harness. And then on the other end, it has the auxiliary to go to the radio. Now, not all radios have RCA inputs anymore. And if that's the case, you're going to want to pick up a standard aux to RCA adapter so that you can plug that in and then plug it into the aux on the unit. Now, the third piece to this equation is going to be the instructions that you need to download from my data link, because they're going to tell you everything you need to know about putting this piece in. So for example, like right here, it shows the audio cable. Not every install requires this. This one apparently does, so you're going to want to use that. This is the iData link cable. So those two cables are a gimme. Now they come over here and they alphabetize all the cables as far as how they hook up. And then they show you here, not everyone needs the ODB2, so it'll show you if it needs that. And then you have here, this is for hardwiring in the backup camera. Some cars, this is a Toyota, so some of the times you have to do that, other times you don't. They also make a harness for this if you don't want to hardwire it. You can get it from PAC. And then this is the secondary auxiliary. If it uses that, it's unplugged. So now what you need to do is get the factory radio out and find out which one of these many harnesses you need. Now, not all iData links are like this. This is a Toyota, so it's unique is that Toyota has so many harnesses. Most you're just gonna find one harness, plugs in, and you're done. But there again, that's why you want to print this out so you can figure out what you're doing. Now, a lot of people want to pre-install things, like try to figure this stuff out beforehand. You have to pull the radio out of the dash. You have to. On any car you're doing an install on, you have to see the harness. You have to pull the radio out. So let's pull the radio out of the dash and take a look. All right, so we've got the radio out of the dash. We got a handful of harnesses. So let's figure out what we got going on here. Let's grab the big one here first. And this one doesn't appear, this one doesn't plug into anything. Let's grab this guy here. All right, so that one plugs in. This is the steering wheel harness. Then we have this guy here, which is the amplifier harness. And then we have, what is this guy here? Nope.
This one.
That was the AC, wasn't it? Oh, no, there we go. So these two go to nothing. Let me just try this one more time. No, that's not even close. These two don't go to anything. Which one is the air conditioner? Go grab the radio real quick.
You gotta be a gray one. A big gray one.
A big gray one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is the air conditioner.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, so this is AC, so this doesn't get used. Alright, so yeah, because this is all by itself. So we want to put that down there. So this doesn't go to anything. This doesn't go to anything. This doesn't go to anything.
This one doesn't go there?
Nope. All right, so basically what we have is we have this harness here. Now, this big white harness is going to plug into here, which is going to do that. So now we have this. This is going to plug into here like that. And this is going to go to the radio. This is the auxiliary input. Alright, so here's what we have. So this is where it can get confusing, because there's a lot of harnesses here that aren't being used. You have this one not being used, this one's not being used, these three factory ones aren't being used. So yeah, go slow, take your time. What we're going to do is we're going to mark the harnesses that we're using, so we know what we have, and the rest we know we're not using. So now let's go ahead, we're gonna take this over to the bench and we're gonna straighten all this out. So we gone ahead and removed all the harnesses that aren't essential to us or that aren't in the car. We've made it all look pretty. One thing we did find out is that the auxiliary harness, the auxiliary that they give us, isn't attached to any of the harnesses that we're using. So we actually had to go ahead and hardwire in the auxiliary. All right, so now we can move on to building the dash kit, putting it in the car. So we have the unit in, it's doing what it needs to do. Down here we have the two USBs. We're done with this, we're gonna pull the next car around. So one of the problems we have with our install bay is this guy right here. This is the ramp that we have to bring cars in. And like if your car has like no room between the tires and is lowered, it's not going in that ramp. So on cars like this, we're just replacing the speakers. Fortunately, we don't have to spend a lot of time, but we do have to work on it outside. And it is hot. So the other day we had someone ask the question of, they have a Chevy pickup truck, it's got the 8-inch MyLink touchscreen, it doesn't have Bose, they can't replace the radio yet. How do they integrate into it? Because it's just, you have that obnoxious door chime coming from that speaker and it's just bong, bong, bong. Okay, so, and I said, all right, there's a couple different options depending on when it was made. Some of the newer ones have the ability to control that in the head unit. Some of them don't. So for the ones that don't, we have a solution. Now this particular vehicle we had done when the truck first came out and we didn't have an answer. Since then it's evolved and we've found solutions to the problems. And so it's in for a different reason. He blew a subwoofer, but while we have it in here, we're like, hey, might as well update it. So let me show you what he has and we'll talk a little bit about it. So here's what it has. It has a punch 2-channel amp, because this has loudspeakers in it running 8 ohm. So that's running all the speakers. He's got louds in the rear doors, louds in the front doors, super tweeters in the dash. He's got this amp here running the subs, and we have an LC7i running the high level. Previously we ran front into the front, and the rear is what's connected to the subwoofer. This is only operating 2-channel. So we have front, rear, power 8 subs. Now the problem is that you get that, once that front runs into here, it amplifies the door chime. So how you fix it is you don't run the fronts. You actually run the rear channel into all of them. So the rear goes into the front, the rear, and the sub. Now you can sum the inputs, do it any way you want. That's gonna eliminate that door chime and all those other chimes and whatnot coming through the system. Now you still need a chime, so how do you get around that? So in the dash, we've gone ahead and mounted a 3.5. It conveniently fits up in there nice, tucks away, fire it down, and you're golden. Now the other part to this equation is you want to make sure you fade the radio all the way to the rear. The chime, the OnStar, the Bluetooth are not affected by fader. They don't care. They're still gonna come out of that speaker, no problem. You just want it to not come out of the front door. So you'll still get your dings It's just at a normal factory level. And you'll still get your OnStar can still come through that speaker. Navigation can still come through that speaker. It just sounds normal now. So hopefully that helps some of you guys that are working on one of these GMs that has this cool 8-inch touchscreen in the dash. No Bose, no nothing, and you're like, man, I hooked it up, but I can't live with that ding, 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 ding. And if I just hook it up to one side, you get my idea. So there you go. Answers that question. On to the next one. There's nothing like a popsicle after a long, hot day. Today's over. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, guys, nothing like after a hot day at work, chilling out with a nice little popsicle. All right, so today was a hot one. Nothing. All right, so today was a hot. Today was a hot one. Nothing like a popsicle. Nothing like a nice popsicle after a hot day at work.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Tastes like medicine.
That's why I'm holding it.
Man, that was a rough one.